Everybody, I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. Ahead, it's a matchup of all-pro inside linebackers from 2016, as we'll see Bobby Wagner and Sean Lee. With that, it's time to hook up with our commentators in the booth as we turn it over to Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
Larry, we find ourselves right in the center of the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex in Arlington and AT&T Stadium. A moment ago, here was the scene with the Cowboys emerging from their tunnel. It was loud. It's still loud. We're ready for football as the Cowboys get set to match up with the Seattle Seahawks. And hi again, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, you take a look at our matchup here. You've got to believe that this is a game that might be won in the trenches.
Oh, without question. This is big person on big person, big unit against big unit.
Meat on meat.
Oh, you got it all. Pick your cliche, but we know this. The ground's going to shake, things are going to rumble, and they're going to have an impact on today's game.
Dan Bailey's got it teed up, and here we go now from Arlington at AT&T Stadium. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. Seattle's offense marching onto the field, led by Russell Wilson. And earlier in the season, we were talking about him, Charles, as a possible MVP candidate. Well, as we went through December, those talks have really quieted. So, yeah, he's top 30 touchdown passes for the second time in his career, but I don't know that things have gone the way they had hoped this year in Seattle.
No, they haven't. And part of the reason that discussion was so heavy for MVP, they were 4-0 in October. Now, November and December combined, 3-4 after week 15. So when you start to put those numbers together, that makes it difficult. And Seattle's so used to winning close games, they lost their touch a little bit because in one-score games through week 15 of the season, they were 4-5. Not normal for Seattle. Usually they lock those things down. So, yes, the talk was there for Russell Wilson. He kept them afloat. But if down the stretch, other people will be more worthy of being the MVP.
Third play here, this opening drive, as they're up against a 3rd and 5. From the gun, it's Wilson. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
This defense And we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
Now John Ryan, 12th year in the league, on to punt it away. He'll kick it away after a 3-and-out on the opening drive of the game. That's taken on the 25. A spin. It's a 49-yard punt, but subtract 9 there for the return. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Second-year man Dak Prescott leading the Dallas Cowboys offense onto the field. And it's been a season as we get down here toward the nitty-gritty, Charles, that is a little disappointing in Dallas. We'll see what they can salvage out of it. But last year, great year. So much hype into this season. Have they disappointed a little?
You'd have to say yes, just based off of record. They won 13 games last season and were the #1 seed in the NFC going into the play. They dealt with. They had more injuries this year. Ezekiel Elliott didn't play all the games. They expected him to be around. So when you put it all together there, yeah, you're going to take a little bit of a dip. But they've won 3 in a row after Week 15, and they think that they may have a chance to sneak into the playoffs with a little bit of help.
Again, it's Elliott. Uses the spin. 2 spins. Call it no gain there, and it brings forth a 3rd and long. Dez Bryant, certainly one of the go-to guys, if not the go-to guy for this offensive unit.
One of the most talked about players in the league, as well as one of the most productive receivers. He attacks the football downfield.
And the dreaded 3rd and long here for the offense. Time running out here on the play clock. They just get the play off. Now Prescott. Escaping the pressure right. He can run for it, and he will. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. Give him 8 yards that time on the scramble, and now 4th down. Now the 7th-year man, Chris Jones, on to kick. Back deep for the Seahawks, the All-Pro returner from 2015, Tyler Lockett. And a great job here. This is going to turn out to be a beauty. This is marked down at about the 3-yard line. Here come the Seahawks now, set to take over on offense. Well, they're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time. Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory. Over the middle here to Wilson. And he's able to get this across the 10 before being taken down. Try to escape the shadow of their goalpost. That helped. 10 yards, 1st down. Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a 1st down. Throwing now, Wilson on 1st down. And a loose football, and the Cowboys have recovered. The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right? And how much they practice not fumbling. Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one. Opportunistic by the defense. And they got it inside the 10 at the 8. A nice pickup of 14, and it moves the stick, sets up a 1st and goal. That O-line, they cleared a big hole there on that run. The athleticism of offensive lines continues to evolve, and we're seeing it here. Not only are they controlling things right at the line of scrimmage, but they're able to get upfield to get to what we call the set. And this is caught for a Cowboy touchdown. Dez Bryant from 8 yards out, and the Cowboys have taken the early lead. Boy, that route is really tough to cover because if they're running it correctly, you think it's really going to be a slant. Yeah, well, we talk all the time about how it's tough to execute offensively, but you're saying don't forget it's tough to cover for the defense, too.
Yeah, the number one thing that you're taught is to not get caught inside or get beat inside. So you guard that a little bit more. So that gives you a little bit more space to operate outside if you start your move initially inside if you're a receiver.
Bailey now to kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Seahawks offense now, they get set to go back to work. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first two drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
They'll throw on first down with Wilson. And he will go down. A Cowboys sack. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Now Davis. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a third down and long. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well. But when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him. And some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
Now Wilson. He's going to air one out. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Orlando Scandrick. And his crew will take over at their own 45-yard line. Dallas Cowboys offense, they'll get ready to go again here in just a second. Earlier we were discussing the roller coaster ride a little bit that it's been for Dallas this year. And
yeah, and I know where you're going, too. You don't mind me jumping in, do you? I know exactly where you're going.
Because I didn't know where I was going.
So. You knew where you were going. You were thinking about Dak and Zeke.
Yeah.
Because Dak Prescott last season, phenomenal. Only threw 4 interceptions, really made a lot of plays. Ezekiel Elliott was a big part of that, his ability to run the football. But you mentioned roller coaster, right? Zeke's in the lineup, Zeke's out of the lineup, makes it tough. And Dak had to adapt. And I think lately, his play has reflected that he can handle things even if Zeke's not there. And now when you get them back together, because Ezekiel Elliott back for the Seattle game in Week 16, look out, I think Dallas will be that much stronger.
Prescott on 2nd and 10. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. Oh, nearly picked. And maybe lucky there. This guy doesn't drop many defensively. 3rd down.
Tremendous coverage there. Just did not catch the football and complete the interception. But what do they say all the time? If he had really good hands, he'd be playing offense.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. They'll run it now out of the gun. Loss.
Yeah, give credit to the defensive player, though. What did he do? Made him slow down, slow up his feet, and allowed the rest of the guys to get there to finish him off.
Out now comes the Cowboys punter. On for his 2nd punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. He gets this one away, and boy,